Hello. My name is Michael Bush, and I'm just super elated to be here. And I bring you good news as it has to do with coffee, with tea, with chocolate. And that would be what we'll be focusing on this edition of Bush House Nigeria Special. For the next 1 hour, perhaps 45 minutes, perhaps less, I'll be chatting to a special Nigerian woman whose Nigerian company is taking the world by storm. And that is Lingzhi. You can see the Lingzhi Global. The CEO and visionary leader is my studio guest. And without any further ado, help me welcome Mrs. Blessing Nanman Tangtur to the program. Many, many thanks for having you. How are you?
Thank you.
Yes.
How you doing, Uncle Bush?
Yeah, fantastic.
Great.
Very nice to have you.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, so how are you? How is Akwa Ibom treating you so far?
Wow, Akwa Ibom is almost a second home now. I'm just super excited and I think I've been overwhelmed, but because of the numerous shower of love I'm having, I'm like, I'm not going to go back again, but I need to go back to the home of peace and tourism anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that is, which one is the home of,
Plateau
is that
State,
Plateau,
yeah.
is that Lagos?
Plateau State is
Okay,
the
but-
home of peace and tourism.
Yes, okay, sure. We'll get into all of those arguments, but Plateau State, Akwa Ibom, see the studios, look at the studios of ADBN. Do you have anything like this in Plateau? No.
Wow. When you look around, you just look on your table. Do you have anything like this in Akwa Ibom?
Oh, fantastic. But I get the answer. I get the answers that has to do with ADBN. So we are on a simulcast. We are live here on channel 258 DSTV, as well as 140 on Star Times. That's for TV, ADBN. And then on the other hand, we are live on Passion 94.5 FM, Uyo, Nigeria. And yeah, we're going to be discussing coffee and your health. We're going to be discussing tea, chocolate, and your health. And just sit back and enjoy this one. So, yes, tell us a little about yourself before your journey into coffee or your journey with coffee began.
All right. My name is Blessing Nanman Tangtur from Plateau State. I'm a teacher by profession. I'm a mother of 4 by the grace of God. And I'm also a mother to so many. And so many times I don't just like to say I'm a mother of 4 because like I'm a mother of thousands. Not by size, not by birth, but by Thanksgiving.
And by coffee.
And by coffee.
Right,
Coffee has
right.
given me a lot of children. I've given birth to a lot of females and men through coffee. And I can tell you that my journey in life started as a teacher. And I strongly believe that teaching is one of the passionate and gifting work that anyone can do. And at a point, I discover what is the business in my profession, and I move from teaching in the classroom to where I started identifying people who really want to break through or break out, but they are faced with one challenge or the other, most especially fear of the, I can't dare this because of where I'm coming from. And I said,
fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown. And I said, let's go. I kept saying, let's go all the way. Let's go, let's go. And this passion started quite 15 years ago until I came across coffee. I stopped teaching in the classroom, but I still have a strong passion for education. That's the reason why I was able to nurse a nursery, primary, and secondary school located in Plateau State, where the school has inclusion for people living with disability. We have the hearing impaired, we have the learning disabled, and then we also have the hearing impaired.
Okay.
And this is one of my greatest passion to see that this whole journey I'm going, I should be able to give back to the society, and that was how I I bring out the special need into the school with my
Okay.
passion.
That's what they call special children or special education or children with special needs.
Children with special needs, so
And,
the school is
Are they,
inclusive.
yes, are they those you thought when you were teaching? Did you teach special children?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I've been teaching special needs children for over 13 years. I've been teaching special needs children. So some of them, I have some of my students who are graduates already.
Yeah.
I have some of my students who are still in school. Some of them are married.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are still, we're still on the way to entrepreneurship because some of the disability are not actually educable. So we go into entrepreneurship. And I think we have the patience to still advocate for people living with disability.
Okay, you know, I'm going to be asking you some profound questions, some deep questions here and there. So it's important to contextualize some of those questions early on. Your age, how old are you? I know you've been married for 23 years. I know you're a woman, you don't discuss your health like that. But for the purpose of what the discussion we're going to have, because, you know, we just came from a meeting now where somebody was questioning, are you really the person? Do you understand and all of that? Because looking at your looks, judging by your looks, sometimes one would just say, no, she's not the one. So how old are you?
I'm just in my 40s as well.
40s.
Yeah.
And then you are the CEO and visionary leader of Lingzhi Global, who are makers of this coffee, makers of this chocolate, makers of this tea.
Yes, and I started 11 years ago. I was quite young.
Oh, you started this company 11 years.
I started the journey.
The journey.
Yeah, every success starts with a journey.
Absolutely.
Someone can wake up in a year and you just want to realize that I'm there already.
Okay.
So the journey started 11 years ago.
How did that journey start?
Started with the story of coffee. And I encourage people now to talk about the story. Chocolate and tea. But actually, the industry is coffee. Before I fell in love with chocolate and tea. Because I discovered that coffee is actually lonely. Coffee doesn't have a mother, it doesn't have a father. So I decided to be the mother of coffee and the father of coffee.
What does that mean? Doesn't have a mother, doesn't have a father?
Nigerians don't understand the value of coffee. They keep talking about caffeine. They don't talk about the health benefit of coffee. It's just like someone talking about the spoiled beans. He's not talking about the cooked beans. So at the end of the day...
So coffee has benefits, health benefits?
Strong health benefit. We can all research about coffee.
All coffees?
As long as it's coffee, I kept saying that we don't have any bad coffee. We only have a bad barista.
What does that mean, barista?
Someone who prepares the coffee.
Oh.
So all coffee, if you plant it in the right way, it grows up. And then once it's called coffee, it means it's ready for preparation. So the person that processes, cup, roasts, package it, and then handing it over to the barista to prepare ready for consumption. That is, we call it from seed to cup. That person should be held responsible if
something goes wrong
with the coffee.
Whoa.
Because even from the farmer, you should be able to identify the right beans, the right coffee beans. You should be able to identify the right coffee beans as a coffee barista, because a coffee barista is a professional in a beverage, and then most especially in coffee. So if it's just like you, so good in what you're doing, there's no way you see a bad broadcasting that you don't know. So when you see a bad beans that is going to give you a bad production, you should be able to know that this beans is not going to give me what I'm looking for to actually give someone to consume.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Barrister.
Yeah.
And then he now went on to say, no, that has nothing to do with law. I'm just wondering, how do you spell that?
Yeah, the barista, we don't have the ER.
Oh,
it's
it's
the A. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it means a professional with coffee, with the making of coffee.
Professional in beverage.
Oh.
So when you go into the barista now, you know, say we have coffee barista. Yeah, we also have the juice barista, and you know, and so forth.
Okay, so that's some 20 questions content there. And I'll take note of that, and I hope that the panelists of 20 questions are not watching that one. Okay, so so you began, and when did you branch off to go solo into what is today Lingzhi Global?
Wow, this started with a deep anger in me. The whole thing started with anger. Like, I look at the situation of Nigeria, like, we started, and we're like, this is not a better regime. Let's go for the better one. Let's go for the better one. And then we're still saying this is not better. When we get to the next one, I hear people saying it's not better again. And I discovered that we need to wake up. We need to wake up because one aspect of what we have is being promoted. But the other aspect of what we have that will be able to put us in a map of wealth in Africa has not been discovered, which is coffee. Why? Because I've sold coffee for 11 years of my life, and I discovered that if over a billion, if over a billion naira, a billion sales can be done in Nigeria from one brand in 30 days, that means there is money in coffee.
How can 1 billion sales be done in 1 month? In
30 days.
Yes, 1 month.
In 30 days.
Why are those drinking it?
That is what we don't know. And Nigerians say they don't take coffee. So in my experience of selling coffee, I see just one person buying coffee of 1 million naira. One person is buying coffee of 1.5 million naira. One person is buying coffee of 500,000 naira. And then I recruited people that will also locate these people that are taking, making purchases of 1 million naira. They're making purchases of 2 million naira. They're making purchases of 500 naira because
500,000.
500,000. You know, success is about network. I decided to network the people that can identify people that love coffee, chocolate, and tea. And I discovered that over 10, 20 people are selling coffee worth over 100 million. And I moved from that skill because for you to move your income to the next stage, it's called a move of skill. That means you have to improve your skill. You need to improve your knowledge because the knowledge for 100 million is not the same with the knowledge for a billion naira. So we decided to move our knowledge from a person of 100 million naira to a person of 1 billion. How do you need to become? How do you need to look? What do you need to read for you to be able to identify people who consume coffee in a population of over 250 million people, or over 200 million, let me say that. How do you identify? And we begin to do that by creating a lifestyle in the community. We begin to do that by creating a community in our community. That means that it's a community that exists in the community. The coffee community. And then you discover that people would take their swallow. They can take their gari and their fisherman soup, but coffee by the side. That is health to me. That is health to me. Just like when I finish, I will just top it up with my green tea like this.
Absolutely. And this green tea is also yours. It's your brand. It's
my brand.
Green tea?
Yes.
Okay, but so as you're sitting like this, you have sold 1 billion, you have made 1 billion sales of coffee.
Over that.
1 billion. That's a lot of money.
We've created we've created thousands of customers. We have database. Thousands of customers.
In how many countries again?
In Lingzhi?
Yes.
Lingzhi is already in 14 African countries.
Lingzhi, your own?
Yes.
Okay, but the one you worked for before now?
Approximately, I think about 80
and you're going there?
Countries.
Lingzhi is going there?
Lingzhi is going to those countries, but our focus now is for Africa by Africa. We want something that will shake Africa from their giant, which is Nigeria. And Africa is actually waiting for us with Lingzhi from Nigeria. Africa is waiting for us. The map of Africa is waiting for us because we've already taken a giant step by already creating a brand for Africa because we are the originators of coffee, we in Africa. Coffee started from Ethiopia. But I kept wondering that how managed we're not able to talk to Ethiopians so that we will be able to make some oil money out of coffee. But I discovered that it's actually lack of knowledge. So,
what do you mean by some oil money out of coffee?
Nigeria, we discovered that coffee is actually one of our source of income. If I'm right, it's a source of income.
For Nigeria?
For Nigeria.
Coffee?
No, oil, sorry.
Oil, yeah, sure.
Oil,
yeah.
crude oil.
Yes.
So, coffee too is oil.
How?
Because it's a daily consumable. People take it every day.
In fact, they might even take coffee more than they take the oil.
People take coffee every day. They take tea every day. They take chocolate every day. There is no home that I've not heard about coffee, chocolate, or tea. So if you're not taking coffee, you're not taking chocolate. If you're not taking chocolate, you're taking tea. But I keep asking the question, anytime I see people saying that I take tea, I take coffee, I take chocolate, in the number of 100, if I say how many people do the business, everybody's hand is down. 99% of people's hands are up to say, I take coffee, I take chocolate, I take tea. But how manage? We produce tea in this country. We produce chocolate in this country. And then we produce tea because cocoa is
produce
farmed.
coffee, tea, chocolate.
Yes,
yeah.
we have cocoa in Calabar. What is the problem? Education. People need to go all out there. But I had to use my resources to go to Brazil. I had to use my resources to go to
Ethiopia, Italy.
Italy. I have to use my money to go to Ethiopia to make sure I get that education. When you see the certificate, when I see that certificate, I said, this certificate can serve Africa, but my degree cannot serve Africa. I mean, education.
The certificate in coffee.
The certificate in coffee.
But the education degree you had from the university
cannot help Africa. But the one I got from this profession is now solving the problem of Africa.
That's something very important to say about certification and qualification and all of that. But I want us to take it step by step so that we are able to glean some very important information from this. Okay, so you started coffee, you're selling it. You believe you went to training, you went to be trained for coffee, to become a coffee, not a barista, coffee expert?
Coffee expert.
Tea expert, chocolate expert.
Yes,
so you went for that training.
Science.
You went for that training in Ethiopia, you went for that training in Brazil, you went for that training in Italy. Why were you not trained in Nigeria?
Trained in Nigeria for coffee? We don't even believe in coffee. So how do we put up an institution? I am trying to put the first coffee training center in Nigeria. There's no coffee training center.
There wasn't any before now?
No.
Okay.
There wasn't.
That's number one. So but you're working on that now?
Yes, we've registered a coffee, Lingzhi Nigeria Coffee Academy already.
Lingzhi Nigeria Coffee Academy?
Yeah.
Where will that be located?
It will be located in Plateau State.
I know.
My government have already allocated some hectares of land for me in Plateau State.
The government of?
Yes, Plateau State.
Yeah, I know that as we progress, we're going to be discussing your governor because I'm quite interested in what I know about him. But okay, so the other aspect, the other thing that I need you to also talk to us about, yes, I asked you about oil, and you went on to talk about crude oil, but I know that in an earlier interview, you had mentioned that there is actually oil that can be gleaned, that can be got out of coffee. Talk to us about, yes, extracted out of coffee. Talk to us about that oil.
Okay, I think we can start from the economical value of coffee. What is the economical value of coffee? You know, for anything you're discussing about, you must ask yourself a question. How does it impact your people?
Absolutely.
How does it benefit people? How does it benefit from the grassroots root to the top level? And I wanted to let you know that coffee itself, from the farming stage, benefits both people from the rural area to the top. Now, when you farm coffee and in the process of drying, in the process of picking, then the grassroots are involved. I think I would have loved to bring some of the pictures you see where the old aged parent, let me use that word. Okay,
the aged parents.
Yes, 70, 80 years, because they can't walk, they will just sit.
Do we have those photos in what I have?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so we'll try and pick some of those pictures as we progress. Yes.
Yes, you know, you will just see them doing the hand picking. They don't need to go anywhere. They do the hand picking as they pick it. So for us to have a quality exportation, they would make sure after the processing from the machine, they still go through hand picking so that nothing can be missing from the original and then great AA grade coffee. They make sure they go through the hand picking, and the each parent can participate. It is fun to them, it is exciting to them, and then it is lucrative to them.
Yes, they make money out of it.
Yes, so when I see that happening in other countries, I said, are you telling me that this cannot
happen in Nigeria?
My country? For that means we can even, when we're looking at maybe 640 footer of coffee, that means we're going to employ more than 10,000 people from the grassroots for them to just be from the farming stage, because we have the drying is still for the grassroots. The Washing is still for the grassroots. It's the only place where you can pick it up is from the roasting and capping. That needs a professional handle. Even though if you want to get a very good coffee, it starts from the seed. So the point of taking it off from them is the point of roasting, so that you can get a very, very good grade of coffee. You roast it yourself. How you roast it, why you roast it, will identify how to extract that oil from coffee. Now, from the cherry, when it's dry, we can use it as a charcoal. After peeling it, you can use, it's not wasted. You use it as a charcoal to make food. And then after processing it, after washing it, roasting, anything, there is no wastage in coffee. There's no wastage. So you can extract oil from coffee, and the oil can be extracted from the green beans. And the oil can be extracted from the roasted beans. The one that is extracted from the green beans is used for anything external. Like you have burnt external, you have stretch mark externally, you have some kind of rashes externally, you can use the coffee oil, the green coffee oil. But when you want
But this
to
is
use,
not green coffee oil. This is
yeah,
not
I
green.
think we have the picture. Yeah,
Okay.
that is before roasting.
Okay, this one is the
yeah,
roast
the color is
one.
green.
Okay,
When it's not roasted, the color is green.
Okay.
The color is green. So when you after roasting, it means it can go into you.
Okay.
Because before roasting, that cannot get into you. But after roasting,
That's it now.
yeah, that's a green.
Yes.
Oil comes out from here. Oil comes out from here with serious health benefits.
Whoa.
So, if all of this process is involved, but the manpower, I don't know what to actually call it, because education needs to be done for people, more people. Let me say more people, because I myself, I've been helping a lot of African countries to establish this education. So if people understand the health benefits, and then how to extract this oil from the green coffee, how to extract the oil from the roasted coffee, now what a 10 what do you call it? Let's just say a 10 kilo of coffee will do, the oil can do like 5 times, because it's highly expensive. People buy it, they need it. So we're going to be we're going to be creating a lot of job opportunities with all of this process, because somebody might be good in the extraction of oil. Somebody will be very good with capping, because capping has a lot to do with smelling. It has a lot to do with high sense of smell. You must have a very high sense of smell for you to be able to do capping, because that is where the grade of that coffee is being dictated.
Is determined. Okay. So we discussed all of that.
Yeah.
I know that in another 2-3 minutes we should be going on our first break on the program, but I'm trying to see what I can still squeeze in a couple of things. So I know also now you do your gathering, so to speak, of your beans in Ethiopia. You have to go as far afield as China for the processing, and then back to South Africa for the packaging. Why does Nigeria not feature in those 3 in 1 lineup?
Well, I must first of all recommend, because UNDP recently came into my life through a lady called Claire, and they've been doing all they can to see how they can support, but I'm actually waiting to hear how we can all put our hands together, because I have the initiative, I have the drive, and I have the foundation. In short, I am moving already. I am moving. UNDP through trade and investment, we had a program, and then looking at the ways where we can assist women in this kind of business, because this business is not even for one country, not to talk of just one woman. You know, the support level is where I think we need to be able to start this in Nigeria because, like Plateau State, we farm coffee.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is this Plateau State or is it Ethiopia here?
No, this is but this is the way of the
making.
The making.
The
So
first
you
is
can
picking
see
the
that people
coffee
from
from
the
the
grassroots
bushes.
are participating from all of these.
Okay.
If
Second
people from
is
the
how to
grassroots
maintain
are
quality
participating from
to
all of this,
maximize profit
how this is an
through good
opportunity
drying
that I
and
see
storage.
that accommodate everyone. The youth
So, for a
love
good
coffee for
quality
the
coffee
lifestyle.
harvest, remember,
The age
only
will
pick
like to
red
farm. And the middle class will just like to consume for the class. So it means that we have something that can speedily change the narrative in Nigeria if the right decision is taken. So I can
Store
decide
in
to
clean,
pick
dry
these beans
bags,
from
which
Nigeria, but where are the farmers? Where is the machine to process all this coffee? Where is the financial support? Because if you have to go wide, then you have to spend wide. Now, being to 14 countries is single-handedly. And then, just like we had a discussion a few days ago, it's high pressure. That you want to start up a business, and then you have a projection, and probably you have some kind of funny way of thinking that this thing is just going to be between now and 5 months, it's going to be between now and 1 year. You go through a lot of pressure, even when you have the initiative to help your country. So I wouldn't know how we will be able to come together, because Africa is waiting for Nigeria. We said we're taking this. Or let me say, I said on behalf of Nigeria that I'm going to make sure that this coffee move from Nigeria to other world. And we want to start with 52 African countries. And we are already in 14 African countries. What do we need to do for us to be able to make a transformation through this agenda?
Okay, you're just joining us. It's, it's a Bush House Nigeria special. It's a very special program that we've packaged on this station, ADBN, channel 258, DSTV, 140 Star Times, as well as on Passion FM, 94.5 FM. And we're discussing coffee, we're discussing tea, we're discussing chocolate, and the benefits they all have on health. Our first major break is now. We'll take that break. When we come back, we'll continue with the CEO and the visionary leader of Lingzhi Global. Please stay tuned.